Here's a shortened version of video from eMiniDayTrader compared to what we produce for our members. It's usually about 20 minutes long. The one here is usually about 5 minutes long. And we're taking a look at activity from Friday, May the 1st, 2009. And what you're looking at here are market profiles. I'm going to just put an oval around the Globex session or the overnight session. And so these profiles right here are the lettered market profiles and the volume market profiles for the past 3 days. And if you were able to listen to the video that was broadcast yesterday, we had mentioned that today's low, meaning yesterday's low, would be a likely support area, and to look to see if the market could accept price below that, then that would be a fairly significant event. If it could not, then take a look at another move higher. And so the market did come down. It just barely got below yesterday's low in the regular trading hours, and just touched on Wednesday's low, and then of course turned around and mostly was bought up for the rest of the day. So we're continuing to see some pretty good bullish action here, and we expect that that's going to continue. We're looking for a support area probably in around the 65 area again, although it could be at 74 area, seeing as we're above that now. And so we're looking for a dip come Sunday evening, Monday morning, quite possibly into the 74 area, or a little bit below that, perhaps in the 67, 68 area before moving higher. We will watch, though, if it spends a lot of time below 74, then we will certainly look to see the potential of getting on the short side for a dip down to the 65 area. Below that, the support is in around the 61, 62 area. So here's just the basic profiles from the last 3 days, and you can see that the sell-off that we had yesterday after it closed had absolutely no follow-through. So a lot of give and take going on here as we test that 870, 872 area, which we've been speaking of for a long time as far as the target goes. The next major target up is 940. So if the market can hold nicely above the 70-72 area over the next week, there's no reason why it may even rally up and test the 940 area. I don't know if the market really has enough legs in it at this stage of the game to do that. After all, we've rallied here for some 7 weeks, I think it is, and have moved what is it, 20-25%, something like that, off of the lows. So we've already had a good run. The market's probably a little tired to tackle that hill at this point, but it is certainly continuing to look positive. As far as our individual trades were concerned today, we had a number of trades, and we started out when the market did come down to try and get short in here, and it did allow us to get short, but we also knew that there was some good support below the market, as I was mentioning. And so we ended up by attempting to reverse that. We just missed our fill by a tick, so unfortunately we didn't get on board this run up. But just missing it by a tick and then seeing it run like that was a little frustrating, needless to say, because that was about a 7-point move that we missed getting on board for the sake of one tick. But at any rate, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. The market went up here, made a fairly strong high, and so we had some good rejection, some deceleration there, and so we had a series of 3 trades here. First 2 made money, third one didn't. A lot of our seasons traders will not take this type of trade the third time around, and as a result, that would have made the day much more profitable because that trade was stopped out. When the market did come down after that, we had a couple of more trades. We did get short in here. However, it went sideways for too long, so we exited that at break even. And then we got long when the market started to rally in here. It did hit our first 2 objectives, but stopped us at break even on the partial by just 2 ticks before it had the run up late. So somewhat a little frustrating in that regard too. We missed those 2 good run-ups, one fairly early in the day, one very late in the day, just by one for the sake of 1 tick, and the other one for the sake, I think it was 2 ticks. So a little bit frustrating in that regard because those would have been very, very profitable trades. Other than that, the market was really doing as we expected in that it did have the the expected support in around the 64 area and have a nice move higher. So our sentiment is still on the long side, is how we're thinking, and with the preference to get back on some sort of pullback, whether it's to around the 74 area, perhaps down to the 70 area, and obviously we'll monitor it at that point once it occurs in the real-time trading with real-time software to update us as to any alerts as to whether or not we've got opportunities to get long. So that'll be it for a look at the market for Friday, April the 1st, 2009. And of course, if you've got any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. We're at eMiniDayTrader.com, or just send us an email at info@eMiniDayTrader.com. So that'll be it for Friday, May the 1st, 2009. Have a good weekend.